Okay, so the big news is, of course, this one. Say hi, sweet pea. Hi. Oh yeah. There. Hi. So right now, actually on Friday, I realized that I was able to do the assault bike at the gym. So today we're gonna try the regular bike and see if I could maybe start bike commuting again, which would be really exciting. So we're gonna give it a whirl while we take this one for a walk. Frankie looks really excited. Okay, let's go. So I actually got this helmet, a burn helmet, back in, I guess it must have been October, because it has this insert that's padded and has ear warmers, and I thought I would be riding my bike all through the winter to work and school. But unfortunately my injury occurred and I never even got to give the helmet a shot. So, super excited to try it out today. Okay, so just got back from the bike ride and it went pretty well. Kilo is terrified of the bike, but I was able to do it and my knee didn't feel too bad. So I think tomorrow I'll give bike commuting to work a shot. So that's pretty awesome. Good morning. It's a beautiful snowy day here in DC. Just taking Kilo, the newest addition to our family, for a walk. And I thought this would be a good chance to just kind of explain what the next few episodes of the MAD experience are going to be about. So some people were interested in what I have been doing for training. I know I kind of talked a lot about the movements that I can't do, but people are interested in what I can do. So I thought I would break it up into 3 different episodes because that's really how I view it when I'm kind of trying to structure workouts. I'll have one episode, which is this episode, which is going to be about conditioning training. What is that? No. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh, I think she just ate poop. Yeah, good girl, don't eat that. Okay. Spinning around with the puppy. Okay, so why are you on that side of me? Good girl. So this episode is going to be about conditioning pieces and just what I've been doing for more of that metabolic conditioning, as they call it in CrossFit, or I guess what probably most people just call cardio. I'll do another episode really talking about strength training, and what I really want to focus on too is like the timing in my recovery, in which I think this would be a good time to focus on those different components. And then lastly, gymnastics, or I guess we could call it skill work. So that's the plan for the next 3 episodes. So regarding this episode, conditioning, I have mostly been resorting to 2 different types. So there's monostructural conditioning, which is kind of like you're just doing one movement and kind of just doing it over and over, whether that's steady state for an extended period of time or intervals. And so I do think intervals are a bit more effective because you can really get that intensity up. The machines I've been using for that, the first machine I was able to do was the ski erg, just because I could do that and really take my legs out of it. I didn't have to use my legs at all. It will be a little hard, I think, to do that after this next surgery because I'm supposed to be non-weight bearing for 6 weeks after that. So who knows, maybe we'll be able to do it seated, so we'll see. The other machine that I started using, and it was about a month after surgery, I was in Santa Cruz visiting my family, and I dropped in on class, and rowing was in the workout, so I gave it a shot, expecting that I wasn't going to be able to do it, and I actually was. So that was really like game changing. Once I was able to row, like my workouts changed completely because I finally was able to get that like sensation of having worked out. I was able to get sweaty, I was able to be sore, so that really changed things. And that was a month after surgery. And at that time I also learned I could do burpees, which was sort of a love-hate relationship. It was like, awesome, I can do burpees. Crap, I can do burpees. So for the next month, I'd say my workouts really were centered around rowing and burpees and strength. Just this last Friday, I started being able to do the assault bike, which is, I feel like if rowing and burpees was sort of a benchmark in my recovery, being able to bike is another benchmark. So on Friday, I did the assault bike in class, was able to do more assault bike on Sunday or Monday, and so I will share that video. And then on Monday, I biked to work for the first time in a little over 4 months. So that was pretty incredible. It's good to know that I can get back on the bike after 3 months post-surgery. So it's kind of nice to have that benchmark moving forward so I know what to expect with this next procedure. And you know, who knows, recovery might be slightly different, so I'm not going to be super disappointed if I can't bike again right at, you know, the 3-month mark after this next procedure. But it is nice to know that that's kind of like the ballpark of what I'm looking at. We're almost home. This puppy is too cute. So I don't know how much sense I was making when we were walking Kilo, because I had her pulling on the leash the whole time, so I'll just kind of like summarize some of the things I was saying. Once I was able to row, I just got like super excited about it. And what was nice about it was that as you're rowing, you kind of pull, catch, and then as you come back towards the machine, that's called your recovery. During that recovery, I could just scale that to how my knee felt. If my knee was feeling really tight that day, or it felt like there was just a lot of fluid and it was really uncomfortable, or you know, maybe I'd had a heavy PT session, or not heavy, but like an intense PT session, and I didn't want to use the leg quite as much, I could just not recover as far. And slowly, as my knee has gotten better, I've been able to recover closer to the machine and get that full extension. So I do think actually that really helped with my recovery with my knee, getting that fluid out. Just on its own, it's going to take a while, and I think having that minor compression was really helpful for that, to just remove some of the swelling, remove some of the fluid, get it feeling normal so that I could walk around a little bit more comfortably and without altering my gait as much. The puppy's going crazy. I'm gonna go check on her. Try to get through this video before she destroys the house. What was I saying? I was talking about, rowing. I do get the email, the daily email from Concept 2 Rower, and they provide rowing workouts. I usually would do the medium distance one. I'll put a screenshot of that up here. Basically, around Christmas is when I started being able to row, and so for the month of January, I decided I wanted to try to row a marathon, like cumulatively over the month. I know the CrossFit Games did it as one workout, and for anyone who rows, that's probably like really low mileage. Kind of one point about this too, prior to this injury, I never would have chosen to row. Like, I hated rowing. That's not something that I would have ever been like, what should I do today? Oh, I know I'm gonna row. No, that never would have happened. But now I actually don't really mind rowing. I'm definitely still not very good at it. I don't go very fast, but it's kind of like full body, and it's a different stimulus than you get just from running. I guess it's weird. You're not going super fast, but it kind of uses your full body in the same way that sprinting does, like sprinting on a track, doing a track workout. You're getting your back, you're getting your arms into it, you're getting your legs, and you're also just like getting your heart rate like through the roof. The last 4 days of December, I did almost 26,000 meters. So I was definitely like super excited, getting a lot of meters in. And then January, I didn't track it quite as successfully, I don't think, because there would just be some boot camp workouts where I jump in and I just wouldn't like write down how many meters we did. But it looks like I got over 43,000 meters in January. So that's over a marathon. Let me grab one little tool that I use. This is something that, get this, you know, it's just a card that, let's see if I can get to focus. It's like, you know, like a hotel key card. And you can stick this in the rower in the like front console, and it tracked all my meters and splits and everything for me. And so just in that short time, I did see a difference. I repeated one of the workouts that I did like the day after Christmas. I retested it a month later, and my splits had gone down. I think it was at the end of December, it had been like 2 minutes and 15 seconds per 500 on average, and when I retested it, I was down to like 2 minutes and 5 seconds per 500. So I took 10 seconds off. I think probably partially because my knee was just better, but also doing that much rowing, I just got better at it. So it was cool to see that amount of progress in so little time. So one last point on the rowing. On one of the websites, it's probably the Concept 2 website, there was an anecdote from this woman who had full knee replacement surgery, and the doctor said that they had not seen someone recover as quickly as her, and she largely attributed that to rowing. Leading up to her knee surgery, she, I think like 4 months going into, or sorry, like 3 months going into the surgery, she just started rowing a lot, and she felt that that really helped her in her recovery for surgery. So I do think the stronger that you can get yourself before you go into surgery, obviously the better, and the better your recovery is going to go. So if you are in a situation, I mean, I guess I'm kind of lucky in a way where I've had one knee surgery and I know I have another one, so it's not like I'm just going to be blindsided by another knee surgery. I know it's coming, so I can put in some work now to make sure that I am better postured to recover coming out of that surgery. And so I do think rowing is a big piece of that, and in general I do think just continuing to train is a huge piece of it as well. Moving on to some of the other types of workouts that I've been doing for conditioning. I guess like a big one that I've been doing is just the classic EMOM, every minute on the minute. So I'll choose 3 or 4 workouts, and then I'll just assign them each to a minute. So it kind of straddles, I think, the conditioning and then also either strength or skill, depending on what you want it to work on. For conditioning, I know there have been a few classes where you'll have, oh god, what was this class we did the other day? It like crushed me. Oh, it started off with kettlebell. I did kettlebell snatches, and then we went into accumulating 30 seconds of L sit hold, and I did mine on the rings. So you're propped up on the rings, sitting in an L. Transition to double unders. I can't do double unders with my knee, so I was thinking like, okay, you want something that's gonna kind of tire your shoulders out and be a little, get your heart rate up a little bit. So I did chest to bar. I think if you can butterfly chest to bar, it does get the same sort of stimulus. We went then into hollow body rocks. So everyone can do that. Hollow body rocks are great, and that's actually something that I've been trying to work on, is my core strength. The last movement was box jumps or box jump over, something like that. Since I can't do those, what I did instead was the bike. So that's just an example of how I would scale that workout, and you're doing that movement on the minutes, you're going through it, and let me tell you, by the end, I think it was 30 minutes accumulated, I was dead. There are still great ways to be able to get that type of exhaustion, even when you basically can't use a leg very well. I can use my leg. I should stop saying that because I can do a lot. So when you have to modify the workout, you can still get really great stimulus. So just some other pieces that I think help get your heart rate up that I've been able to do. I'll just kind of list them off here. Burpees, lots of different things with dumbbells. So at boot camp at CrossFit DC, we do a lot of dumbbells in those workouts. Those are typically like these really long chipper workouts, 43 to 45 minutes of work, and you're just not stopping, but the movements are changing, so you can kind of like rest certain muscles within the workout. Dumbbell cleans, you can do all different sorts of presses, like strict press, push press. I can't really do push press right now. It doesn't feel good for me, any movement, either with the barbell or the dumbbell, where you're pushing and then rebending to get under. So I've been avoiding those movements. So, but things like strict press I can do. Devil's press is kind of one of the newer CrossFit movements. You basically go down into a burpee, come up, swing the dumbbells up straight into kind of like a snatch or kind of like kettlebell movement. Renegade rows, like I said, all different types of rows, man makers. Oh, dumbbells, you can also do snatches, so it's pretty basic. And then kettlebells is similar, you can do kettlebell swings. That was definitely one of the things I did immediately after surgery because it was just like hip hinge. You didn't really have to get your knees in it at all. And then also kettlebell snatch. And then finally, I think I mentioned parts of gymnastics, I think, can start to become more Metcon-y. So if you are able to butterfly your pull-ups or butterfly your chest to bar, I think that definitely hits that mark. I did a workout a while ago where I think it had like 6 bar muscle ups as one of the stations. It was either an EMOM or a chipper or something. And being able to do unbroken bar muscle ups started to become more cardio also. So that's an option as well. So I think that kind of summarizes the movements I've been doing for conditioning. In the next few weeks, I'll be talking about things that I do for strength training and also for gymnastics. So I do think with the sequencing of this, metabolic conditioning is sort of the type of thing that I think you should just sprinkle in throughout if you can. Right after my knee surgery, I pretty much was relegated to strength. But where I could, I was trying to get in some of this cardio when possible. And I think that's a good model to follow. For this next knee surgery that I do, I will definitely be focusing on strength the first month after the surgery. And then as I'm able to incorporate more metabolic conditioning and gymnastics, I will do so. I hope this was helpful. I'm not really sure how I'm editing this video yet. So I'm going to try to do a voiceover of a workout that I did a couple days ago that sort of celebrated my ability to bike. So it was 100 calories on the rower, 100 calories on the skier, and 100 calories on the bike, broken up every 2 minutes. At the top of 2 minutes, you had to hop off and do 7 burpees. So it was quite painful. I'll share that video. And as usual, leave any questions that you may have down at the bottom in the comments. I really like it when everyone comments. It makes me feel like I'm helping people out or people are interested in the content I'm providing. So yeah, give the video a like if you want to, and I'll see you next week. Holy, that was really hard, and I look pretty crazy now. But I had my hair, I was trying to make it nice for work tomorrow. Yeah, I don't recommend this workout if you want your hair to look nice the next day. So once I catch my breath, I'm just gonna go through and kind of talk about some of the things that I look at on the machines while I'm working out, for rowing and assault bike mostly. So I'm going to have Sandy demo this, and I'm just gonna point out what I look at on the screen. Okay, so she's just going with one arm. She's not gonna get the wattage up very high because she's not using the whole body. But basically, it's a challenge. In the lower left, you see watts, and so that's what I focus on. So yeah, she's getting it up to like 240, over 250. That's the metric that I look at just to kind of gauge how hard I'm going. So in that last workout, the first few rounds I was definitely dragging ass and I was not getting it even to like 200 watts, which is pretty bad. But then in the last few rounds, once I kind of told myself to pick it up, I was trying to get it above 250, and then at the very end when I did the sprint, I don't know what it was at, but definitely higher than 250. So now if we go over to the rower, Sandy and I did a rowing clinic at our gym a while ago, and Tess, who used to coach here, told us that for women the damper setting should usually be between 3 and 4, which is lower than both of us had been used to, and for men it should be between 5 and 6. What I have been focused on looking at is actually the strokes per minute here. So usually if I'm doing a longer piece, I'll try to keep the strokes per minute at between 22 to 24. And so you can see right now Sandy's at 25, 26. And I think that's usually a good pace for any of the workouts that we do in CrossFit. And then if you really want to hammer it, you can go above 30 strokes per minute. But you usually only want to do that for more like sprinting pieces. So you can see Sandy has it at over 30 now. And that would be a little bit harder to maintain for any like long duration of time. So how do you feel about the Mac?
Excited, but cautiously optimistic, I suppose.
Yeah. Don't you think it'll be fun? Like, you'll be in like heats against games athletes, maybe.
I'm excited to take the floor and see what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I hope it'll be similar but bigger than prior experiences.
I mean, because the previous ones even were like really legit feeling.
Yeah.
It's like prime location to have indoor and outdoor.
Yeah. And it'll be good. We have at least 2 gym teams going. So that'll be good for the gym too.
Yeah.
So we're excited for that.
Yeah. I'll be cheering for you guys.
Yeah, be on the team.